That's the side of the People's Democratic Party. So we wanted to get the legal point of view. What is the implication of what has just happened on the candidacy of Senator Adeleke and for the People's Democratic Party ahead of the Austrian governorship election? Don't forget, sources at the president told China's television that the president had asked IG to stand down on this case. Joining me to give some legal clarity and perspectives to this is Mr. GT Ogunye, a lawyer based here in Lagos. Thank you so much, Mr. Ogunye, for coming on the program.
It's my pleasure.
So when the police came up with this case, it's a case on NECO. There's another case on WAEC against Senator Adeleke over a requisite requirement for the seat of a governor. What does this mean, legally speaking?
Well, the first thing to say is that it's perhaps salutary that the president reportedly, by a report, has intervened to direct, I believe under section 215, subsection 3 of the Constitution, because under that section and subsection, the president has the power to give lawful directives to the Inspector General of Police. It's salutary that the president has directed that there should be a stay of all actions, as it were, regarding the allegation by the police and the intention of the police to get Senator Adeleke to Abuja for the purpose of arraignment. Because the action of the police seems to suggest that the intention is to interfere in the conduct of the election by manipulating the electorate. That's the semblance of that announcement by the police. Of course, it can be argued that there's no perfect time to level an allegation, and that the best time to do so is when investigation is fully conducted and all the facts are in. For example, if the argument is that the police ought not to have made open this allegation now, or ought not to have made arrangements to arraign Senator Adeleke for the alleged criminal offenses bordering on examination malpractice, the question would then be, what will happen if he wins the election, for example? Wouldn't that be regarded as trying to victimize him after winning the election? So if he doesn't win the election, wouldn't that be suggested to be an attempt to victimize him for even standing for the election at all? So, but the president actually, in my view, recognizes that timing is important in all this, because we're not just talking about a candidate. We're not talking about a person who's just engaging in examination malpractice. We're talking about a candidate in an election. And so to go back to your question, under section 182 of the Constitution, criminal allegation standing alone will not disqualify a candidate. It's criminal conviction. Although there is another subsection, a paragraph of subsection 182, subsection 1, that provides that a presentation of a forged certificate will disqualify a candidate. Even at that, based on the authorities, the court has said that INEC on its own may not be able to disqualify a candidate, that even with all those grounds for disqualification, it will still require a pronouncement of a court of law to disqualify that candidate. So as it is, this allegation will not on its own, affect the candidate. But in a way, given the way the allegation has been made, and it's in the public domain now, people can make up their judgments on the basis of what has been published.
There will be the question of who could be the beneficiary should anything harmful happens to the candidacy of Adeleke, and whether or not the jurisdiction of this particular coming in of the police on this matter on NECO and the issues of WAEC, which of these certificates were tendered by Senator Adeleke. Those are other perspectives that we're going to shed light on, and what the law says about the requirement to be a governor in a state. Those are some other perspectives that Mr. Ogunye will be clarifying for us based on what the Constitution and the Electoral Act permit. That's going to be in a moment, everyone. Join us again. Saturday, the 22nd day of September 2018, the people of Osun State will march to the polls to elect the next governor. But there are issues coming up, especially on the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Senator Adeleke, who is also a sitting senator in the National Assembly. The police have come forward today to say that man is being accused of examination malpractice and a couple of other offenses that have in fact asked him to get to their office in Abuja to answer questions before they arraign him. For the president, as according to President sources in the president, has weighed in and asked the IGP to stand down on this matter. So we're getting perspectives to this one, especially the legality of all of these issues. We plan to bring the spokesperson of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, but he's in transit, and we had a telephone conversation with him earlier, which we showed you or played to you. But we also reached out to the campaign organization of Senator Adeleke. We do hope that they will get to us and get their own statement on this matter. Let's get back to the conversation. The legality of this matter, there was NECO issue, and there is this issue of WAEC. So which of these certificates did Senator Adeleke present, and what could be the implication on his candidacy ahead of this election? Mr. G.T. Ogunye, a lawyer in Lagos, has been giving us clarity on this matter. Mr. Ogunye, on this matter now,